Hey there Fortnite fans, it is Dajaway here again with another video in my tutorial series, and in this one I am going to be going over farming and some general tips and why farming with certain characters is so much better. So I'm going to pick up my farmer, which is Pathfinder Jess. She is one of the, if not the best farmer in the game, and I will show you why. Biggest thing to farming before you go into anything, if you are going to farm a map and not do the missions and just get resources, click the little button to bring down the menu, go to privacy public and go into private. Now I highly recommend for base level materials you go into something that is way underpowered for you. That way you can just blow through, get your resources and leave the map without, well, really making anybody mad is the basic point of doing that. I get really frustrated when we're trying to do a mission, Atlas, Ride the Lightning, anything like that, and somebody's literally just in there to farm. They're not helping with the mission, they're not doing anything, they're just literally running around buildings and the world just farming materials. Do it in private. It's super easy. You saw how easy it was. You just pull down the menu, you go to your privacy, you set it to private, and you're done. And it's a great way to just relax, in a relaxed way, just farm. I don't know why maybe people just forget to put it in private, and then when all the other people like show up in the mission screen, maybe they just forget and they're just like, bah, I don't care, I'm just gonna do it anyway. Which is really frustrating because then you only have 2, maybe 3 people, or if it's just one other person there, then it's really just you doing the mission. So if you're gonna farm, but do it in private, please. So this is Pathfinder Jess, and one of the brilliant things about Pathfinder Jess, and I don't need a lot of real base materials right now, I just wanted to make a little video on farming. So as you saw, the little treasure chest popped up above her head, and now she's got sort of like this bright light around her, right? So this is Keen Eyes, and when an Outlander enters in the zone, you get a bunch of power-ups. But the reason why Pathfinder Jess is amazing is because her in the zone triggers Keen Eyes at a certain level, and I can't remember where it is. So I can see through walls into buildings and find loot. So you see the ammo box here is colored green. I can grab that, and then I can run off to other buildings. So I don't have to build up and find a ton of different stuff. You can see right there in my crosshair, well, my reticle, there's more green lighting up right there, and it will light green, blue, or purple depending on how awesome it is that you're looking for. If I need ammo, this is the character I definitely take in order to get that, because she can find ammo like crazy. So it searches 2 tiles unless you power it. I think there's an ability to power it up to 3 tiles. I don't remember 100%, but I'm pretty sure. But look, I don't have to go running through an entire building destroying everything in it to find decent loot. And this will actually find legendary items as well, see? So this lit up, so I know that's there. And I know there's no chest in, well, there might be a chest. So we're gonna find out. This is the best way to get loot, whether it's guns for recycling, because you're probably not gonna use a ton of the ones that you find in the map, or just base materials. So there are going to be tons of other containers that she's not going to see with Keen Eyes, but these are going to be, you know, the most important. So there will be 1 box or 2 box ammo spawns that you're not going to see through buildings and stuff. Then it's going to show you the 4s and 5s mostly, sometimes the 3s. Now, I do have to say, if you go into combat, you will lose your in the zone. So you have to go back with your pickaxe and hit something 5 times to enter in the zone and get Keen Eyes back. For Pathfinder Jess, I have not seen many other Outlanders with Keen Eyes for farming, so I don't really know how many actually have it. And this is probably ammo, because it looks like it's behind a bed. Yep. So, and I can fill up on ammo super quick this way. Now, some other tips, just random tips for farming. If you need planks, store some wood in your storm shield storage and go whack at trees, okay? You're not gonna get a ton of wood out of every tree, but I will tell you, and let's see if I can find one. Okay, perfect example. So pine tree, normal tree, deciduous versus conifer. If I whack this down and I hit the circle once, it gives me 30 wood. If I go for the pine tree, it gives me a little bit more. Now, these short pine trees are ridiculously good, so you get about 10% more out of pine trees than you do out of normal. Now, this is randomized a little bit and depends on how many times you hit the crit circle, or the hit circle, or whatever they call it. Crit circle, I like to call it. So it does depend, but I'm getting 55 wood for every one of these, except for that one, because I hit the crit circle twice on the other ones. So 37, whereas if I were to come over here and just hit one of these normal trees, like I said, it is randomized a little bit, but you are going to get more out of pine trees than you are out of conifers, or deciduous. If you don't know what that means, look it up. I'm not going over it. It's basically just what everybody considers normal trees versus pine trees. Metal. Cars are great for getting metal. If you need nuts and bolts, leave the cars alone. You're going to get a bunch of metal, 20 plus metal, but you're only going to get 2 or 3 nuts and bolts. If you find electrical boxes, this is perfect. I'm really glad this was here. So electrical boxes are only 2 hits. You only get 3 metal, but you get the same number of nuts and bolts out of doing that you do a car, and you have to hack at a car sometimes forever. These metal pipes and the rolls of chain are amazing. So I'm gonna grab this, and it's gonna give me 36 metal and 11 nuts and bolts. If you are not collecting these, you are doing the game wrong. All right, well, so Keen Eyes is active. This is another container with stuff in it that I need or want. And there's no way to really mark what you need or want. There's ways to pin items to your taskbar or to the screen so that you know what you're looking for. But there isn't really, I've already been in there. The other thing about Pathfinder Jess that's amazing is she gets Teddy, and if you have the hover turret, you have some amazing crowd control abilities. You get anti-material charge, which is basically a knockdown, knockback. Oh look, another electrical zone. I don't know what to call them. Electrical spawn, zone, mission. Where is the entrance? Oh, there's the atlas. Not worried about that though. Oh, of course, it's on the last place to look. So you will find in suburban zones, city zones, and industrial zones, you'll find little outcroppings of electrical materials. So I'm gonna get, we'll try to keep track of it. So 3 nuts and bolts from that, 6 nuts and bolts, we're up to 9, and 7, so we're up to 16. Let's see if I can do my math that fast. 23, 30, 38, 44, well, 48 technically. All right, so you saw how many nuts and bolts I got out of just that little area, right? I got about 50-ish, and I don't really need metal, so I'm not gonna hack at cars to get nuts and bolts. I don't need to do a ton of work just in order to get 2, maybe 3 nuts and bolts. So everybody that's hacking at cars for nuts and bolts, just stop. Even these lawnmowers, right? Nuts and bolts. And it's only 1, but I only had to whack at it twice. Another really good way to get nuts and bolts is out of playgrounds. And of course I saw green, which is a chest. So if Pathfinder Jess is in the store right now, I hope she stays there for a bit, and she's only green, but you can upgrade her with the legendary fluxes, or the epic and legendary fluxes, and I highly recommend everybody does that. She's not next in line for legendary, Dragon Scorch is, but she is right in line after that, because she is great with combat. So if you need rough ore, unfortunately, between searching chests or containers and breaking apart rocks, there's no good way to get rough ore. Same with the powders. Like you'll get a powder or two, or maybe a rough ore or two, or one of each out of rocks. And I noticed the smaller hit points the rocks, the more likely you are to find rough ore versus the powders, but you can find it's randomized a bit. So if you need powders and stuff, do rocks. Powders and rough ore, rocks, and containers. Planks, if you need planks, just hit trees. Don't worry about containers for planks, you're not going to find a ton. So that is farming in a nutshell with Pathfinder Jess. Make sure you're in private. Make sure you have Pathfinder Jess. You will get a ton more resources that way. And yeah, just don't make everybody mad by farming in a mission. I know I haven't gone very far on this map, but the map's not huge-ish. As always, guys, I hope this video has helped you. I hope you go to the store as soon as you see it. Or if Pathfinder Jess is in the store, I hope you go get her and increase her rarity. And I hope you go get her, increase her level. She's amazing for so many reasons. Excuse me.
Target located.
She's great with combat, especially if you have the hover turret. Oh, excuse me. Sorry, a little bit of heartburn there.
Bonus challenge is
So
now available.
she's great, and I will go over some other farming tips with a different character, just so that you can see that you don't need her to farm, but she's probably the best one to do it with. So like the video, guys, subscribe to the channel, hit the little bell. Once I get my first wave of videos out, I will not be uploading a ton. I will be doing a little bit after new stuff comes out and I discover other things that I think everybody should know about. But I'm not going to be bugging your subscription tab that much. So please, guys, hit the bell, and I hope to see you, ladies and gentlemen, in game. I'm Dajawe, D-A-J-A-W-E, and I am out.